Fueled by Deathcast.
Let's talk about some stuff that you like to do outside of work. Do you have hobbies? Do you have interests like that you really are passionate about? Because we're all about passion here.
All about passion here. I'll just really lean into the nerd life that I like to live. I was super stoked when you asked me to be part of the Twitch Marvel recap when we did Endgame. Like, that was so much fun, and like all my friends are super jealous of it.
So go follow that on YouTube. It's still up there on YouTube.
I remember, like, I was telling my friends we were gonna do it, and like I had a Spider-Man T-shirt, which I will come clean wasn't mine. It was my boyfriend's, and it was pretty big on me. And I told him I was gonna do it, and then right after he texted me, he's like, "Oh, you did great." I'm like, "You watched it live?" And like, he knows so much more than I do. He's like, "Yeah," and these are the points that you missed. I'm like, damn it. So I love Marvel. I love.
Where does it come from?
My dad's a union carpenter, like very man of few words kind of dude. Loves sci-fi, loves Star Trek, loves like all that good. Like, I'll come home and he's always watching Star Trek or Harry Potter.
It's awesome.
He's Long Island Italian man who loves Star Trek, and I think that would always be on the background. So then I got into watching Doctor Who.
Shout out to Doctor Who.
Shout out to I have a Doctor Who. I have a TARDIS mug too.
Yeah.
And I was gonna bring it, and then I didn't think of that until the right in. I was like,
That's
damn
all
it.
right.
What if next time? Yeah, we're a show about mugs. So that love for shows that are actually, it was really funny. It was Caden, our customer service guy. He sent a gift that had like a Doctor Who meme on it. I'm like, oh, that's Doctor Who. He's like, ah, what is that? I was like, oh no, Caden. It's a show that's has a lot of heart to it. It sends a good message, and then there's aliens, and then there's mystery. So just really not necessarily complex things or ideas that are just written so well, and that great power of storytelling. And then, also leaning to nerd life. I did a lot of theater in high school, and I worked so let's just really lay it on. And then in college, I worked in a scene shop building sets, and I did lighting design. I would hang the lights, focus them, and just really, if there's a good story, like, that's what brings people together. Mm-hmm. So all of that kind of culminated into a love of Doctor Who and D&D and like theater and plays and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, Doctor Who is one of those transcendental genres because it is sci-fi, but it has so much heart and passion in the world, across the world, because it's been around since the 50s, the 60s?
58, I believe, yeah.
And I mean, it's beloved by so many people, and it's still going, and it still tells, and it's always about story. It's not just about aliens and crazy magical beings and all this other stuff. And the actual question for any Doctor Who fans out there, the actual question that I have to ask you is, who's your doctor?
Oh, it's David Tennant.
David Tennant, number 10.
Yeah. No, that was the first one that I was like, oh, wow, like, charming, obviously, and just, like, this, like, good acting. Like, he's selling a story and just those human relationships and just, oh, man, such a phenomenal actor. I loved him in Jessica Jones, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah, he really is. And one of the coolest things about David Tennant, it's one of those stories where, and I say this a lot on the show, I'm a big believer in if you say something out into the universe, then it can make it real.
Sure.
It might not actually happen, but like, if you say something, if you say, I want this to happen, or I want to be this, or I want this to happen, that's the seed that generates in the universe. Whether or not that path that you're going to take is going to make you get there, who knows?
Who knows? So
when David Tennant was a young boy, he was reading the Doctor Who books that were coming out.
Okay.
And loved the character, watched Tom Baker, watched the older Doctor Who's, actually wrote BBC and professed his love for
really?
Doctor Who, and said one day he would love to be Doctor Who, and still has that letter, and it became real. He literally got cast as the Doctor, and is one of the most beloved of the modern generation of Doctor Who, of one of the Doctors. And I mean, what a career he's had, because not only did he get Doctor Who, but he was in Harry Potter, and he was in Jessica Jones, and he was in, he's got
Fright Night,
yeah, like, I mean,
Good Omen, I just binged.
Good Omens,
that was fantastic. And then I remember when I was in high school, he was in the Royal Shakespeare Company, and
they all are.
Yeah,
if you're a British actor, you have to be in the Royal Shakespeare Company.
And he did Hamlet, and it was like I went to London then when he was performing, but we didn't get tickets for it, and I was like so bummed. Like, one day.
One day.
But yeah, like, podcasts are also a big thing.
But back on the Marvel side, how did you get into comic books? Did you pick up comics, or did you just like the movies, or
just the movies?
Just the movies?
Yeah, I really haven't been too deep into the comic world. I mean, I read a lot of like just those like omnibuses of like I read Watchmen, I read Persepolis, I read League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like I think that was the one that pulled me in because I saw the movie with Sean Connery. I'm like, this is so cool. I'm like, let me read more of it. So just reading those big ones where everything's together and I can get the whole story.
The movie that made Sean Connery quit acting.
Stop it, right?
Did you know that?
I never knew that.
Yep, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I enjoy that movie as well. It's not as good as the comic, because you definitely read the comic.
Yeah.
There's way more cool stuff in the comic. After that, he was like, I'm so done. Well, he said it in a very thick Scottish accent, but he said, I'm so done, and he hasn't acted since.
Oh,
so.
Well, that's heartbreaking
That's
now.
super heartbreaking.
Now readjust my love
Sorry,
for that.
I'm super sorry.
No, it's quite all right.
But yeah.
There's no aha moment. Like I don't have like 30 little tiny comic books.
But you do enjoy the movies.
I do enjoy the movies.
Favorite Marvel movie?
Oh, man.
I know this answer.
Do you?
I think I do.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man. And we're actually recording this. This is actually going to come out after it's out, but we're recording this the day before Far From Home.
We'll do
comes
another
out.
Twitch and we'll discuss Far From Home.
I am totally down. Are you down for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna do a Twitch Far From Home recap.
I'll take better notes.
I'm very excited about that.